Hey everybody, it is August 7th, 2017, and it is a Monday. It's time for your weekly video. A little under the weather. I got that, the digging, when you do the crate digging and you haven't done it in a long time, you sort of get a little stuffed up. Definitely feeling that today. Actually, all week. Pretty much Tuesday after I filmed my last video. Started getting all stuffed up. So I'm going to show you 10 records. This is going to be probably a pretty quick. Still working on the giant stack, if you will, from last weekend. So just want to show a couple out of this. This is not going to be as exciting as the other one. You know, the first one I sort of picked some of the best stuff that I got. So, but there's still some interesting stuff I'll try to talk to about the best I can. So I'm going to start with this one. This is got this at a Goodwill. I think it was 49 cents for this one. Get Yourself a College Girl. It's a soundtrack. A little bit of a cutout. One thing that's pretty great about this is it has a whole bunch of, the MGM and Verve artists. You have the Animals, Getz and Gilberto, the Jimmy Smith Trio. But there's some great tracks on here. And the Standells are on here too. So for you garage fans, I believe this is the only way that you can get the two songs they're actually on this one. It has Boney Maroney and The Swim. But, you get the girl from Ipanema is on there. Of course, whatever. It's a classic. And then The Sermon by Jimmy Smith, the 2-minute version of that, 2-minute, 50-second version. So this is fun. And I haven't seen this one, so I figured, hey, it was worth picking up. I know in a couple videos back, I had shown the second album for this. This is Mickey Finn's America's #1 Speakeasy. I actually saw 2 copies of this when I was in my travels. One was 49 cents, but I bought this one. It was for 2. It's practically unplayed. And I think as I sort of described in the previous video, it's like Barrel House, sort of, gay 90s kind of stuff. So it's not the most, not everybody's going to listen to it over and over and over and over and over again. But it's great mood music from the 60s. So that kind of stuff that I've been kind of digging lately. The easy listening kind of thing. This one's pretty cool. This is just sort of, I'm just intrigued by this. I'm reading a lot of books about, not necessarily religion, but sort of, the way of life of the Southern Appalachians and things like that. And, this sort of goes hand in hand with this. It's called Crusade Echoes. And it's basically music from a tent revival, which is, I don't know. So, living, somewhat in the city, I guess you could say. It's just these things are just kind of, I don't know, they're foreign to me. So they're interesting to sort of pick up and sort of discover what they're all about. I also found this one, I've actually been looking for this for a really long time. Jerry and I had gone record digging a while back, and I found a record by this guy. What is his name? Michael Cassidy. And this is sort of the follow-up album to that one. It's called Golden Avatar, A Change of Heart, who he was really influenced by Buddhism and things like that. So, talks about, special thanks to Stevie Wonder, Neil Diamond, George Harrison, and John Fahey for their contributions. So it's kind of sort of progressive music with synthesizers and stuff like that. I always sort of thought of this as perhaps maybe a contender for a Glass Orchid. He's still around. He still does stuff. So I may reach out to him and ask him to talk about this. But, it's like one of these things. I looked this up on Discogs, and it was like, maybe like $4 or $5. And, when you consider shipping, it's like $7 out the door. And I hate buying them that way, but this one just popped up. Just looking through all these like just terrible records, and this one was there. So this one was only $1. I had to buy this. I had this a long time ago. Traded it. Steve Miller Band. This is probably his. It's just interesting to listen to this now, and it's just the arrangements are very sparse. Like it's, they seem to be so lush and things like that, but really it's just his guitar and, the very stripped down kind of things. I mean, of course, there's some synthesizers in it, but this was only $1, so I couldn't pass that up. So Steve Miller Band, Fly Like an Eagle. This was 50 cents for this one. I have a copy of this somewhere. John Hammond's Source Point. This one was just like in really clean shape, and I knew that mine. I mean, there's like no spindle wear on it or anything, so I knew mine was not in this good of shape. So John Hammond, of course, sort of a blues singer, recorded a lot of albums. But I know I paid like $7 for this a while ago, but it was cool to find for 50 cents. This one was $1. This is just one I never see on LP. So the Delfonics, I can't remember right now their big hit. I just organized all my 7-inch records, the 45s and all that, but I can't remember what it is. But I usually see the the 45s, but this one is not their big hit. And I was going to look it up, but I won't. But anyhow, you never see their stuff on like just LPs, so it was just kind of cool to see something on that one. It's a little scratched, but it still plays well. So, but on the Philly Groove records, so very cool. And this one was also really cool. This is some privately pressed local stuff for Eastern Pennsylvania. Favorite Hymns by the Joyful Strings. It sounds a lot like the Lovin' Brothers. Really, really good. This is like a high watermark where, we talk about privately pressed records, what you should look for, what are things that are sort of, valuable. A lot of times when you're looking at the records like this, I'd say 9 out of 10 times you're not going to find anything that's really worthwhile, but every once in a while you find something that's really good. And this was one, and it was $0.25. That's how much it was. It was 50 cents, and then it was half off of that. So, it's one of these things that, like, the music that is on this, saving it from the dumpster of obscurity, it's priceless. So it's just amazing. This is really good music. I love it. So it's very uplifting. I'm all about the uplifting music right now, but it's great. And then these last two, it's funny because I picked these up. I stopped at this one place and I bought about $60 worth of $2 records. So I bought about $35 or 33 records or so, something like that. A pretty decent stack. And it's just like, we really didn't have a lot of time, and I was just sort of blowing through and just kind of anything that I saw that just seemed mildly interesting, I picked up. So I found these two. So this is, I want to say it's Pat Horn, or Horan, Pat Horn and Rock Castle River Company. The cover on this is just, I mean, how could you not pass that up? I mean, the guy's a banjo there, and this guy's a banjo. So I was like, yeah, I'll definitely pick this up. And I didn't look it up or anything. It was just in good shape. It was $2, so I figured it was just worth the price of admission. And it ends up it's actually really good. And they also had this one, which I didn't really realize it was the same thing. But this is just how the text is. But this is actually just called the Rock Castle River Company. It was autographed by one of the guys on the back of it. But so Pat Horan, he, and again, this is probably one of those things you don't give a crap about, but this is sort of the important stuff that I like. But so with the Kingston Trio, they sort of broke up. I want to say like around 1967 or something like that. They got back together. Well, not the original members, one of the other guys. It was sort of one of the later, not Dave Garrett or anything like that. But they had the new Kingston Trio that they toured around for a couple of years, and they only put out one album. And this guy was actually Pat was in the band at that time. And I was kind of researching him, just kind of see what he was up to these days. And I guess he sort of had this tragic, fire at his house, and he died of smoke inhalation. So it's kind of like a sad story, but definitely these are some great albums. For $2, they were definitely worth it. They're really good stuff. Sort of kind of on the lines of Earl Scruggs, their son. I can't remember what their names are. I think Randy is one of them. But it's sort of kind of like a little more on the, like if you're a Denver fan, it's pretty much right in there, basically. So, but very cool. So that's it. 10 minutes from me. Hope you have a great week. I did get the new Dave's Picks. Dave's Picks 23 came out. It's over there. So I'll maybe show that in another video. So hope you guys have a great week, and we'll see you on down the trail. Take care.